What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another DC Worlds Collide video. In today's video, we're going over the new player's guide that Reaper's Fury X posted in Reddit about 2 weeks ago. I will be sharing some of my own insights related to what he shares here in his post. I'll be going in the game, showing you a couple of things that are being talked about, and I hope that this helps a lot of the new players understand how to navigate the game and make the most out of their resources. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ninja kick that like button, and let's get into it. Okay, so first off, I just want to beg, plead, ask that you all please subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. 80% of the views I get are from non-subscribers. I would really like to see the views go up from subscribers, which means those of you who are watching this video and don't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. I don't mind if you don't ring the bell. I mean, ring the bell lets you get notified whenever I post a video, but at least do me a favor, click that subscribe button, and let's go into it. So we got the player's guide posted by Reaper's Fury X. This guy is amazing. He's the one who puts together the tier list with a lot of help with his clanmates. He gave me permission to report on that, so I'm assuming it's okay that I report on this because he, of course, gets 100% of the credit for doing it. He's a moderator, both for the Reddit channel and also in the Discord. So huge props to Reaper's Fury X. He also has a YouTube channel, but he only posted a few videos. Hopefully he does some more. I would like to watch those myself. So he starts off, and a lot of you may have already seen this, but I'm going to go through this in somewhat detail, and also, like I said, share some things in the game about how some changes had come to the game. So the old version he had needed to be changed, updated. I've been meaning to get to this for a while, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, the character enhancement is one area, team building is another area, resource management, and game modes. So a lot of stuff to go over. First off is the character enhancement, and this includes leveling up, ranking up, equipments, artifacts, and badges. So he did mention artifacts in here, which is really cool. Leveling up is pretty straightforward. We earn character XP throughout various sources in the game, which is used to increase the level of our characters. The game uses a feature called Reserve League Center, which raises the level of every character placed into the equal of the level of our 5th highest character. To put it simply, we only need to focus on leveling 5 of our characters. This is super important, guys. Don't invest in more than 5 characters at a time, because characters level is max tied to their ranks, but he says here, character XP is one of the resources we can get back by retraining, so don't stress about leveling up the wrong characters. That's right. Only focus on 5 if you want to retrain. It's only 5 diamonds. Even free-to-play players can afford to do that. I'm a free-to-play player, and I'm pretty good about managing my resources. So let's go take a look at the Reserve League Center real quick. So from the main page, you go to your characters, and down here at the bottom it says Reserve League Center. So you can see the numbers of the characters. I have Wonder Woman at 220. The rest of these top 5 are at 200, and then it starts going into blue 200. Those are the characters that are in the Reserve League Center. The white number is the characters I actually have leveled up. Blue are the characters in the Reserve League Center. Oh, one thing he mentioned is that level is tied to rank. So you'll notice down here my question is capped at 160. That's because he's a blue character. I have him in the Reserve League Center because he's really good for the Crisis Watch mode that we happen to have right now, where he silences everybody. Like, he has an AoE silence, I think it is, which is good for having the bombs detonate. But let's say you want to reset a character. There's a character maybe you're not using all the time or at all, and they're sitting in here. So for me, that might be Poison Ivy. I don't know if I ever really use her. So like, I can go in here and reset this seat. If you reset the seat, it's only an hour for you to then go put another character in here. So, you know, it's not a big deal to, like, okay, I can't play for an hour, come back to it. The one thing you want to make sure that if you're pulling characters out of your Reserve League Center, hopefully they're not in your unrestricted arena team. Okay, that's the Reserve League. If you want to reset a character, I'm not actually going to do it, but when you come, actually you go back, that's down here is character retraining, what he talked about. you can select any of the characters that you have training into, and it looks like for some reason I can rank retrain a couple of these guys down here and get their shards back. Now the rank retraining is more expensive. Depending on the rank that you're retraining them from, it's going to increase the cost of gems, and that's up to 500. But if it's just levels, it's only 5 a piece. Now these two I had, and then you can also check rank retraining. So they used to make it you had to have the levels to also click rank retrain. Now they have the automatic rank retrain if you want to get some of these shards back. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and keep the characters leveled up because they can be useful for the scout missions. I can't remember exactly what that's called. But that's the Reserve League Center. That's the retraining the character. Lastly, just when you want to level up, rank up, level up. She's max. She's at 220 because at 3 stars. So let's go to here. If I want to level him up, you need a certain amount of XP. You need a certain amount of titanium. XP may seem like a crunch in the early game, but it comes by pretty quickly. No longer a bottleneck after the first few chapters. Titanium's a bottleneck for quite some time. And then later, when it comes ranking up, gold can become a bottleneck, but these purple shards, these are definitely a bottleneck for ranking up. I think if it wasn't for the fact that I don't have any, I do have enough to rank up. So I think I would probably rank up my Wonder Woman. See, I actually have enough. I could rank her up, but I'm waiting till weekly reset because I'm playing super resource management on the weekly missions. You have rank up characters 2 times, and since it's so expensive at the later stages to rank up, I wait till the beginning of the week to do my 2 rank ups, especially because those purple shards are really hard to come by. Okay, so that's some hints on some of the resource management based on character leveling. Let's go look at the guide some more. Okay, so he talks about ranking up next, and I talked a little bit about that when we went into the game. It's increasing our character's star level. Each character rarity comes at a base star level and then can be ranked up to a max star level based on that rarity. Ranking up a character requires shards or 8th metal to substitute. Any metal can be used, cannot be gotten back. So think wisely before you use it. The following charts are rank up requirements. Yeah, so 8th metal, I'd mentioned this. I did a video about the rank up requirements. So I'm not going to go too deeply into this, but the details are here. I made a cool little graphic for these. It'd be nice to have like a total at the bottom, but your epics a lot when you start getting to 10 star, and then more than 10 stars, which would be the 1 silver, 2 silver, 3 silver, 4 silver, 5 silver. 5 silver is the max that I know of right now. And what, 800 elite shards? So you saw 500 elite on my Wonder Woman to take her to 9 star. I have the unique, but getting them to 10. And one thing that they've mentioned before is like you really want to get your main 5 to 10 stars as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, because the level of their skills don't get fully unlocked until they're 10 stars. So often when you looked at the tier list and you're considering using a character that says they're good, the Reaper's Fury X and Justice League are talking about at least 10 stars and badges at level 30. Badges, previously named emblems, are an epic item that an epic and legendary characters can unlock that gives them a stat boost as well as enhancing one of their skills. Epic characters have 3 tiers of badges, while legendary characters have 4 tiers. Badges require a resource called Inertron, Inertronite, Inertron Ally, to unlock and upgrade them. Once used, this resource cannot be gotten back. So make sure you read through each badge before deciding which ones to upgrade. This game can be game changing, and some of the effects drastically change how a character performs. Badges are super expensive. And as a free-to-play player, I still don't have a badge at level 30. Not a single one. I've used all my rainbow badges. I'm really close to my first one. I've been working on Killer Frost. We can go back in the game real quick to take a look at that. So here in the characters, once again, I'm going to go to Killer Frost because this is the one I'm working on. This is the badge or the emblem, right? 30 is going to be max. And I just don't have enough. I need 40 I only have 26 of the universal inertron alloy. Now he said, maybe, oops. They're tier 4 for legendary, right? So, enhanced prerequisite node first. You can't even, if we say here, we're on 4. There isn't a final trait unlock. It's at 3. For every 1% of current crit rate, increases crit damage by 1% instead. Which is really, really nice, because at tier 2, which we have unlocked, increases crit by 15%. For every 1% of the own crit rate, increases crit by damage by 0.5%. So, of course, the higher you can get these, and at level 30, the tier 3, completing tier 3, unlocking that skill really can change the character completely. Like, who I don't have here unlocked is Penguin. Penguin completely changes and becomes extremely good, but only once you get that to level 30. Equipment, also called gear, are items you equip on your character to increase their stats. Equipment is split into 6 pieces and 6 types. There is no one defined, one specific type of gear that's best on certain character. Sometimes you may want more speed, sometimes you may want more crit, attack, etc. There are different tiers of equipment: Elite, Elite 1, Epic, Epic 1, Epic 2, Epic 3. The higher the tier, the higher the maximum stats that equipment can give, but also the higher cost to upgrade. Okay, we're going to go into equipment real quick to look at this. I only have Epic 1 gear right now, and I'm not really leveling my gear up, equipment up, because you're basically throwing resources away if you don't wait until you get Epic 3. Now this could be potentially holding me back. We're going to go back into the game. This could potentially be holding me back a little bit, but I don't think so. So if we come back, you know, go to my Wonder Woman. I have, you see, mostly Epic and then one Epic 1 here. I have a couple Epic 1s here. I don't even have Epic on Constantine because he's not a priority, and he's not my main battling. Here's my Green Arrow. Here's my Raven. So you can see I mostly have Epic 1 or Elite 1. I don't even have Epic 2 or Epic 3, and you can see the difference in the corner. There becomes a 2-line and a 3-line piece. The ones with the 3 lines, those are the best pieces of gear right now, and that's why you see, let's see if I can find, what do I have, maybe back over here, I think I saw on plus 10, right? So this one has plus 10. I've enhanced that mostly because there was a quest or something where I needed to enhance gear, and every week you have to enhance a gear 5 times. So what I've been doing is I just pick any piece, it doesn't really matter. I pick a piece, I click enhance, and I click one piece, click enhance. I do that 5 times, so I'm saving all my resources. I'm saving this stuff for when I do unlock the 3 tier. This is a late game mentality, and some people don't have the patience to do that. So up to you what you want to do, but that's what I'm doing to make sure that when I do have the the tier 3 equipment, right, then I'm able to start investing in that. And as you level your equipment up, let's go back to the piece that I have leveled up. It happens to be on HAL. As you level it up, you unlock extra bonus attacks. Bonus, it needs 15 to get an attack bonus here. It's and then the crit set, right? So there's a whole philosophy behind. See, these only get 2 bonus stats. These have 3 bonus stats, and there's a whole bunch of stuff we can get into with that. I'm not going to spend the time going deep into that right now. We've spent too much time talking about it. As I get further in the game, I will make a equipment guide with some more details about substats. Artifacts is the last recent enhancement section. Artifacts are the items that can be equipped to character that provide an extra powerful boost in bonus stats. You can only own one of each artifact, so swapping them around between characters as needed is essential. They cannot be attained until Chapter 18, but you may want to save diamonds for them. Yes, the other thing that he doesn't mention here is that the artifacts, you need to be rank 8 to equip it. So this is the artifact down here. I have the Mega Rod on Wonder Woman right now. I don't have them all unlocked. This has a decent attack bonus, which is why I'm using it on her, because even though I have the lasso, like I have Bane's Venom on Lex, I have the lasso on Green Arrow, because the way the lasso works on Wonder Woman, even though it's her weapon, it actually it's more effective on Green Arrow. That's what I've come to find out. So let's see. Yeah, it says locked here because it says character will be able to equip artifacts at rank 8. So you have to get them to rank 8 before you can equip artifacts. And then as you move from game mode to game mode, like they said, if you're not using the character who's using one of your best artifacts and you're using other characters, they're rank 8, move it. It's gonna really help you maybe push further in that game mode, whether it be Convergent Crisis, maybe the other stages. We'll talk a little bit more about game modes as we go. Now, team building. I've had some people ask me to create a team building guide. This is going to be the intro to it for this video, but hopefully I can make another team building guide later. Team building is the essence of any hero collector. Team cohesiveness will determine your success or failure. There are 3 different character traits: tank, support, DPS. You should always have the right balance of them. It is not always as simple as putting tank in front, and sometimes enemies specifically target the back row, so you want to move characters around based on each individual matchup you have. Yeah, so sometimes putting a tank in the back row is good, like against Robin. Robin has his ult where he does tons of single target damage to a back row enemy ally that's across from him, so you put a tank in the back to soak up that damage. That's just one instance. Some characters hit certain enemy spots. You need to be strategic in your team placement to ensure that you have the best chance of winning. Sometimes if you lose, all it takes is swapping 2 character placements to get the win. Team building is very strategic. Early game, you can typically just use your top 5 and be fine. As you progress, however, you will realize sometimes a weaker person can perform better when paired to the right team. Resonances and skill requirements, synergies should all be studied carefully by anyone hoping to be competitive. Collection items, while only having a one-time use per match, can greatly change the outcome. Some items do damage based on your team's power, some items heal your team, others may give buffs. A well-timed heal or just that little bit of extra damage can be the difference between winning and losing. Similar to above, sometimes all it takes is swapping to a different item to pass the level you are otherwise stuck on. You can use 3 items per battle, and an order of using them is just as important if you want more in-depth review. The characters, an updated tier list posted. Right, we did that. So, rank up chips for collection items. So we have to go into collection items real quick. So rank 1 to 2 is 3 chips, 2 to 3 is 10 chips, 3 to 4 is 25, and 4 to 5 is 35 rank up chips. This is another resource that you got to be very, very, very careful about spending. You want to make sure you use it on the right collection items. So in collections, you scroll over here, you have collection. I have Takitani set up because I like tigers, but I've actually invested when it comes to my rank up chips in the Throne of Kondak, because this is one of the best collection items. I just have the 4 basic collection items. If you're newer to the game, there was, because I'm on one of the older servers, we didn't get the Batmobile event, like beginner event, so some people may be able to get the Batmobile. Still not recommended that you invest in the Batmobile. Right now, the plane, the parallax, and the chair were best, but we also have the new Green Lantern power battery. It said that this actually might be a really, really good item as well. Your collection rank affects your entire team, so you do want to level them all up as possible. But once again, as resource management comes into play, and there's a weekly quest to level these things up at least 5 times. You can take your time. It's up to you. You could be holding yourself back if you don't. Really kind of depends. The other thing is, we've got to go back in there. When he says you can use 3, well, that's with technology. You have to unlock the ability to use 3. So in order to be able to use 3, you have to make sure you follow the paths. Like this here, it says unlocks when support mode improvement reaches level 10. My support mode improvement is only level 5. I need more of the tech points. The tech points are collected through leveling up your drawings, ranking up your pieces. So there's that. So right now I'm still working on the throne because I want to get it to tier 5. So even though I have rank up chips, I could rank up some of these others. I don't really feel like they're worth it because I want to save those chips after I get the chair to 5 for when I unlock the plane or maybe the battery or whatever else. I can end up being able to save up enough to get these on the events. Now I did start buying the plane because it was the best at the time, but I should have saved my credits because they carry over from event to event until I had enough credits to buy all 10 shards, because by the time I have enough credits to buy all 10 shards, there may be tons of other collection items that are better than the plane. So little mistake I made, but also something to consider, especially if you're a free-to-play player or on a budget. Okay, so that goes into resource management, which I've talked about a lot throughout this video. Really brief here from Reaper's Fury X. Resource management can be a defining factor in your game experience. The game is very forgiving in some areas, but others are absolute. As far as characters go, super encrypted tokens are very rare. You want to ensure you are using them only on character banners when the legendary pity carries over from the following one, unless you have enough to reach the pity on a single banner. Gold, titanium, and XP experience spent on characters can be refunded back at any time for the cost of 5 diamonds. Yeah, we talked about that. Energy cells for artifacts can be refunded for the cost of 50 diamonds. 8th metal of any form in an Enertron cannot be refunded back, so it's vital you make sure that you think before spending these. Digital signature cards for equipment cannot be refunded back, so be careful when you sign into it. Similar for this, collection items, 9th metal and rank up chips are both resources that cannot be gotten back once spent. Make sure you read through all the skills and choose what you want to invest in wisely. Items are required to be at a certain level before you can unlock the next, so early game you won't have much choice about spending 9th metal. It is recommended, however, not to level past the required level or you will delay your progress on the next item, which is kind of what happened to me with my throne. I didn't realize I took Takitani further than I needed to because I didn't have the throne unlocked yet, and then my throne is not as high level as it could be. So once again, learn from my mistakes. But yeah, you can't. There's some things you just can't get back. So make sure that you're careful about some of those things. Right? 8th metal, collection chips, the Enertron, you're not getting that stuff back. This is like most hero collector games. This is a resource management game. Right? You have to know what you're doing with your resources, why you're using it, on what you're using it on, to min-max your progress. Game modes. Okay, so here's a brief description of the game modes. Okay, so main stages, simple campaign modes. I wouldn't call it a story mode because there's not really story attached to it. There's a Beast Arena, which is your basic PvP. Unrestricted Arena, which is probably the most competitive version of Arena, where it's best of 3 matches. And it's this mode, which is why I believe people have asked me for like a team building video, which, like I said, I'm going to try and work on later this week. Because you need to have 3 teams, effective teams, and at least 2 of them have to win for you to win. Top 64 people of every server go into a bracket tournament style at the end. Now, the nice thing about this bracket is that you can support players in the bracket if you know them, or you just want to predict who's going to win, and you get some diamonds if you're right. So even if you don't make it, you still have ways of benefiting from it. And if any of your clan mates or guild mates are in the top 64, however well they perform, that will give everyone in your guild some resources for their performance. So if you can't perform well, hopefully someone in your guild can. Elseworld. This mode allows you to rent a team of characters and progress through levels. Each day has a theme that will affect battles as you complete levels. If you will get to select different buffs and recruit different characters. This mode allows you to try characters that you do not own yet. Yes, and early game, some people have trouble with this. Late game, once you get used to it, it's not difficult for the most part. I'm trying to build an Elseworld guide as well, because especially for new players, they want to know, why is such and such not working? They're supposed to be a great character. Well, it probably has to do with the theme of the effect. All the themes of the 7 deadly sins, and each of those 7 deadly sins does something that the enemies get some sort of like global buff, and the enemies get harder as you go. So you want to make sure that the buffs that you select are going to help you against that sin. So I'd love to make a video about that later. Evil Falls. Here you challenge a boss. The goal is defeating them. Each time they're defeated, they resets and raises the level of the boss. You can earn more rewards on the percentages of the boss hit points. In order to get more rewards, you must deplete more than you did in the previous attempt. Each boss has a condition, making defeating them easier. It is recommended to study character skills to see which will do best against bosses. This is another thing when it comes to team building. There's some people say, oh, this is a boss killer team. Some bosses you need certain effects to really beat them. I would love to make guides on that in the future as well. I still don't have the best handle on beating the Evil Falls bosses. One thing you didn't mention is that after the 2 days that you fight that boss, the next time the boss comes around, you do get the rewards again based on your previous performance, which is kind of nice when you first go in. So you definitely want to get as far as you can each time. Don't just say, oh yeah, I beat it once, that's good. Well, you have 2 days. Maybe after 2 days you've gotten stronger, you can do better. Go in there again before the end of those 2 days and try and get the highest you can. Maybe get to the next stage. Convergence Crisis mode is split into multiple areas on which each area is following type. Characters enter. It encourages you to get used to using more than one team and familiarize yourself with character skill. This is another reason why I want to make a team building video, because there are certain crisis modes where you can only use all red or all blue or all green or all heroes or all villains. So I want to try and help you guys figure out what are the best ways of building those teams for those modes. Guild Challenge is a multi-stage raid mode. The first 2 parts allow you to weaken the final boss, with the third part being the actual boss fight. This is fairly new. I made a video about it on my first impressions. It's fun. It's similar to Evil Falls though, in the sense that it's just a boss fight. Surveillance, also called Crisis Watch. Each week there's a different theme requiring strategy to defeat them. While you can simply use power, each level has 3 requirements that are required to be met in order to get full points. And you only get points on the final stage, but you also get rewards based on how many surveillance icons, whatever they're called. You want to get all 30 to get the full points for the bottom, but the 3 requirements on the final stage is what gets you your points. Some of those requirements are easy, some of them are confusing, so people are sharing in Discord how to beat those. Check that out if you're not sure how to beat the theme that you're up against. System recovery. Progress through 10 stages of increasing difficulty in each chapter, each with 3 requirements that need to be met. If you complete all 3 requirements, you earn rewards for that chapter. Yeah, system recovery is kind of a redo of the main stages, but they're completely different. And it's more like in other hero collector games where you have like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star completement of the mode of that thing, and yeah, just get you some extra rewards. If you can't progress in the main stages, system recovery is a fun place to go get some extra rewards. Character trials. As certain characters are recruited, you will unlock a trial for them. This is a series of levels that shows you how to correctly use that character's skills. The trials used to be unlocked by unlocking a character. Now you have to rank them to rank 5. So legendary characters, you will get their trial immediately, but you will have to use resources to unlock character trials for certain characters. So I have 2 characters right now. I could rank them up to unlock their trials, but I just don't see the value in throwing those resources into characters I'm not going to use. So pick and choose which trials you feel like you want to do. The nice thing about trials, for every 2 trials you do, you get enough resources to unlock another slot in that reserve league center we went over at the beginning of the game. So if you feel like you need more characters leveled to your 5th highest level character, then it might be worth it for you. Up to you. Character origins are animated cinematic stories that teaches you a little bit about the character's backstory. There's only a few available right now. I do hope they add more of these. Only one of them has voice actors. It would be really cool to have voice actors. I have recorded the story for Wonder Woman. When I unlocked her and did her spotlight, I threw her origin story in there, and I had my wife do the voice of Wonder Woman, which was a lot of fun. So we do have a voiceover version of it if you want to hear some voices. Probably not the best though. Just did that for fun. Digital Universe. Progress through the map using portals and switches to reach the various areas and collect rewards. Digital Universe is great. It's very important to get through these as fast as possible to unlock the throne, which is the collection items. Beyond that, it's just extra rewards to get through those. And they also have Digital Universe events every other week, I think it is, which are generally, I feel like they're scaled to where your level is. So if you're not that strong, you should still be able to get through it by leveling up through that week. And they recently changed that you don't have to complete the universe to get the rewards that you collect as you go. So if you're unable to complete the universe, especially in the special events, you still get some rewards. You can always leave the universe, reset it, and try again. The exploration, explore certain areas, follow the tips that are given to you in order to find all the chests. Now, this mode, I'm not sure what their thought is with this because it was part of the beta. They only have a few of these. Some of them can be kind of frustrating. I did not make guides for these, I don't think, and I've done them all already. I like that they have it. I wish they had more. I don't think it's a real main focus of the game, so I'm not sure how much more they're going to add, because they haven't had any new explorations since I've started playing the game back in February, March. And the character lounge, room for certain characters, which contain mini games and missions that allow you to get rewards. So that's where all the game modes are at. In Multiverse is where you get Crisis Watch, which was previously called Surveillance. Battle Assist is the new mode, which is not listed there because that's come out since he made that. And I did a video about that just the other day. Elseworld, I'm going to try and make a how to pick the right stuff depending on the sin you're up against. Warworld is all your PvP. Evil Falls are the boss fights, and Convergence is where you have to use specific heroes depending on the crisis mode or the convergence you're in. Your Hall of Justice here is your clan, your guild. Lots of cool stuff here. This little question mark. Make sure you do this every day for free, 50 gems. If you're wrong, you still get 25, but people have the answers. People have the answers. Sure about that. Up here at the top, you can collapse this, but you have your event center where all the events that are happening. Right now it's this kind of stuff. We've got John, summon him. You got your character fusion. Definitely try and fuse Lex as fast as possible. Another little hint there for you. The security plan. This is your daily, and your weekly missions that I talked about earlier to get through the security plan. Once you get to the very end, every 150 public security points, you get a chest, which can have coins, diamonds, enhancement parts, or titanium, which is great. Of course, like I said, free to play, but I think passes, these security plan passes, are probably a good thing to spend money on if you're a real spender. The stores where you can spend real money. The renting the extra drone, I think, is a good thing to do if you're going to spend money. I haven't gone through too much of this because even though I would spend money if I was on my main account, my main email linked account, but I have a separate email for this that doesn't have any payment built in. Make sure you collect. When you collect your supplies, and you can do your quick collect of the supplies. If you're new to the game, wait till near the end of the day, get as far as you can in the main stages, because leveling up your main and getting further in the main stages is going to increase your production. Here we have 27k per hour, 20k per hour, 138k per hour. So before you use these quick collects, get as far as you can. Now, because I'm at the point where I'm not really progressing until it's a new week, I go ahead and quick collect every day, except for at the new week. Then I still wait and try and see how much further I can get, which is including the mercenaries. You can hire mercenaries. These are my mercenaries, which are available to my clanmates. And then we have the guild mercenaries, where I'm unable to hire because I've already hired 3 this week. But this is a good way if you're not so far along, but you have some clanmates that have characters stronger than you. You can borrow those characters, and they can help you get further in your main stages, which will increase your production. Okay. In the character lounge, which he had mentioned, this is the squad dispatch. You're going to do this every day. I do quick collect. Sometimes you can't quick collect. You have to go in and manually select, or quick dispatch. You have to manually select because it's not as smart, even though you might have things. I think they did fix it, make it a little bit better. And that's why you want to go ahead and rank some of your guys up, even if you're not using them for that reason. These numbers up here are the collection items, which depending on what it is, it'll give you like a border frame, or an emoji. So nothing that you have to like stress about getting. And then they have the mini games, like there's weapon training in Deathstroke's room. There's this guess identity in Batman's room. Luckily, recently they have the archer practice in here. We got Sector Conquest. No game in Raven's room, and Telepathic Link. Yeah, that's the other new one here in Martian Manhunter's room. So a lot of cool little games. I like when they did the carnival, but I know not everybody was a huge fan of that. And they did lower the requirements to get all the rewards, because I think they know that a lot of people don't really like the mini games. I do. I like having just other things to do in the game. Adventure mode, he had mentioned all the different things here. You can go into main stages. Another way to main stages: trials for the different characters, origins, exploration, digital universe. Digital universe, like I said, this is the important one to get through so you can unlock the throne. Trials, once again, so if I scroll down here, characters I have Jessica and John. I have both of these guys unlocked, but I don't have them at 5-star, so I don't have their trials unlocked. Most of the rest of them are all the legendary characters, other than Nightwing and Red Hood, which I also don't have. Alright, I think that's about it. Hopefully, I mean, this video has gone on super long. I'm going to put timestamps in there so you guys can fast forward to certain stuff. And once again, like always, guys, please subscribe, ninja kick the like button for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.